Well, hello everybody. It is today. Can you believe it? It's another day on planet Earth. Amazing as that is, this breath that we have. And I am super happy to welcome you to this month's Wisdom Talks. It is, what day is it actually? I'm looking up here at my computer. It's August 2nd, unbelievably so. Welcome to August. And let's all just take a moment and take a deep breath together. Just arrive into this heart-centered space, this opportunity to be here and now. Because now is what we got, right? Now is what we have. Now is the only time there is. And today I am really excited to welcome our special guest, Dr. Bruce Lipton. What a gift it is to have you with us here today, Bruce. And I just want to share a little bit about who you are for anybody out there who doesn't already know. Dr. Bruce H. Lipton is a PhD. He is an internationally recognized leader in bridging science and spirit. He is a stem cell biologist. Stem cell, say that fast 10 times. Stem cell biologist. He is a best-selling author of The Biology of Belief and recipient of the 2009 Goy Peace Awards. Dr. Lipton received his PhD degree from the University of Virginia, and he joined the Department of Anatomy at the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine in 1973. He began examining the principles of quantum physics and how they might be integrated into his understanding of the cell's information processing systems. He produced breakthrough studies on the cell membrane, which revealed that its outer layer of the cell was an organic homologue, excuse me if I'm saying any of the words wrong, of a computer chip, the cell's equivalent of a brain. His research at Stanford University School of Medicine revealed that the environment operating through the membrane controlled the behavior and physiology of the cell, turning genes on and off. And these discoveries, which ran counter to the established scientific view that life is controlled by genes, is one of today's, helped bring forward one of today's most important fields of study, the science of epigenetics. My goodness, my tongue isn't working today. So you can read more about Bruce Lipton and all that he does on his website, and I'll put that in the chat box for everybody. And so today, Bruce, what we're going to talk about is wisdom and truth, what you've learned, what you found, what you know, what you don't know about wisdom and truth. How do we find wisdom and truth in these very, very interesting times? So welcome, Bruce. Thank you for being with us today.
I am so glad to be here with you and our wonderful community. And I appreciate this opportunity because the people in your community, by definition, are what we refer to as cultural creatives. These are the people that are looking for answers outside of the box. Thank God, because the answers are not inside the box. And so I am really honored to be here with people who can make a difference on this planet, because this is a very, very special time on planet Earth. And actually, it looked like we just got here crazy random chaos. I go, no, we're on a schedule. We are in a process of evolution, and you're experiencing what is it like to be in an evolutionary upheaval. And here we are. The craziness of today's world is an evolutionary upheaval. So, so I am, don't know where to go. I got like 100 hours worth of stuff, and I want to put in some good stuff in here. So let's start with something that's very important. The concept knowledge is power is a fundamental truth. And everybody said, oh yeah, I know about that concept. Knowledge is power. And I go, no. There's another way to say it that is more relevant. And I said, what's that? And I go, a lack of knowledge is a lack of power. And I go, why is it relevant? Because the knowledge that the public is not aware of, yet we are aware of it in the scientific realm, is knowledge that is all personal empowerment knowledge, and the public is not really aware of it. So guess what? Being unaware of this new science leaves them in a place of not having knowledge and then also being disempowered. So this is a time of conscious awakening. It's really an evolution. And when we talk about evolution, sometimes that old picture of Darwin comes in here that, oh yeah, life is a struggle for survival and competition for fitness and winners and losers. And we're out there in the dog eat dog world. I go, that theory of evolution is completely wrong. It's completely wrong because evolution is not based on competition. Evolution is based on cooperation, complete opposite of the direction we're going in. Because the evolution that we're going to experience is the ultimate cooperation of 7.5 billion people on this planet to recognize every person on this planet is equivalent of a cell in the body of a superorganism called humanity. Now, humanity is trying to evolve at this moment, but the cells are in a state of, if I use the words that we use in medicine, this is autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease means a disease wherein the cells are battling each other and the breakdown of the system. Well, we're in an autoimmune disease moment here because the cells are clashing, the people are clashing. And if the destination is unity, then it's like, why are we clashing? But the most important point is this: 5 times in the history of this planet, life was thriving, and some event wiped out up to 90% of life. 5 different times. Now, these events, like the last one, was 66 million years ago when there were dinosaurs here. Place was tropical, lush, and a comet hit near the Yucatan Peninsula, a giant comet that upended the web of life. And up to that one, 75% of life disappeared, including all of the dinosaurs. And so the relevance was, oh my goodness, that's called a mass extinction. I go, yes. And science has now recognized that we are not in the fifth, we did that one. We're in the sixth mass extinction. And I said, what does that mean? It says, we are losing species of organism faster than in previous mass extinctions. That World Wildlife Foundation did a survey. How many animals are on Earth? They did that in 1970. And they recently redid the survey. 2/3 of the animal population on planet Earth have disappeared in that time period since 1970 and now. We're only got 1/3 of the animals left on this planet that were here just 50 years ago. And I go, so why is this relevant? Because there's a falling apart, a coming down, a breaking of the system. And we're seeing it in the world we're in, whether you read, the newspaper or surf the web or you just look outside your window. This world's in a very strange place. And the reason is that we are now in what is called the sixth mass extinction of life. But the biggest problem of all is that while the previous mass extinctions are attributed to natural events, today's world is facing extinction because of human behavior. Humans are undermining the web of life and the natural order and the harmony of the planet. And as a result, we are precipitating our own extinction. Now, is this going to be 1,000 years from now? No, you don't have to wait that long. It's going to be in decades. It's coming very fast and it's coming hard right now. I say, so what's relevant? And I say, we reached a crisis point. What crisis? I could list for you all the crises. I could start with religious, to racial, economic, political, go on and on. There's crises all over the world at one moment. And I go, so what's the issue here? And crisis means that we're facing a challenge we can't deal with right now. And the challenge is causing things to shake all over. And COVID just added another layer to that. And I go, so why is it relevant? And the answer is this: nature has given us a signal. Nature is saying, look, this world is going to go on whether you're here or not, humans. And that human behavior has just undermined the web of life. And we have an opportunity now, as creators of the extinction, to be the ones that could also heal the system if we understand who we are and what we are and why we're here. And that got lost somewhere in our history, that somewhere along the line we acquired the belief that we're victims of a world out of control. And the truth is, Zara knows and has been teaching people all over, is I know we're a little bit more than just pieces in a game. We are co-creators of a world. Each of us is a spiritual entity, which then you're looking at me going, he's a scientist and he's talking about the spirituality. And I go, oh, absolutely, because I was never a spiritual person. No, my career way up through at least 40 years of age, there's no spirituality in my life, man. I'm a biologist. It's genes and proteins and chromosomes and all that. And you're here, then you go back to the chemistry, and that was that. But when I understood the nature of how cells work, which is the foundation of the new science called epigenetics. Now I've got to summarize what that means so I don't leave you there. When we talk about the things that you learned in school and what I was teaching in medical school, it was called genetic determinism. And I said, what's that? The belief that genes determine the character of your life. I go, so why is that relevant? Well, people look, oh, cancer's running in my family, must be cancer genes or Alzheimer genes or whatever. And they look at their life as what? Victims. I go, why? Well, as far as we know, we didn't pick the genes we came with. If you don't like the characteristics, you can't change the genes you came with. And then on top of that, you're told that genes turn on and off by themselves and sort of like running your life underneath you. And I say, so when you put all those three things together, you're left with the fact that I'm a powerless human in a genetically controlled machine, and the genes are going to control my life. Well, that was called genetic control, control by genes. The new science that some of my work was serious pioneering work in, the field is called epigenetic control, because it almost sounds like the same thing. I go, that little prefix epi is a revolution beyond anything you can understand. I go, what do you mean? Epi means above. What do we call skin? What do we call skin? Epidermis. I said, what does that mean? Below the surface skin is a layer called the dermis. And so what is skin? Epidermis. And what is epi? Above. That's what it means. So the epidermis is above the dermis, skin, okay? Epigenetic control translates in this manner. Control epi above the genes. Control above the genes. I thought the genes were doing all this. It's like that is a lack of knowledge, a misperception, and a disempowering belief. And it's a disempowering belief because then all of a sudden you look at your life, it's not under my control. The genes did that. And I had nothing to do with it. I'm just a victim of my genes. And I go, no, that's not really true. That what we haven't recognized heretofore is that we are the masters of our genes and that we are controlling not just the character of our internal reality, but our external reality through consciousness. The idea that genes control life is completely false. A gene is a blueprint and has no more function than an actual paper blueprint in an architect's office. What is it? It's a plan on how to make proteins. I go, why is it relevant? A blueprint cannot turn itself on and off. A blueprint is just a code to make proteins. And I said, yeah, but we've been talking about genes turning on and off. I said, no, it's totally false, 100%. Genes are controlled epigenetically above the genes by consciousness. And therefore, all of a sudden I say, well, why is that important? Because you can change your consciousness. That means you can change your genetics, not the genetic code itself, but the expression of the code. And I go, this is the new science of epigenetics. I say, why is it important? It's personal empowerment versus genetics, which is personal victimization. Now we have an opportunity to say, no, I am not a victim of these genes. And my life is a program. And then I got to take, sorry, I got to keep talking for a couple minutes. Okay. You okay? Keep going. Okay.
Go.
Okay. Let's start with a very fundamental fact is that consciousness is coming from the nervous system. And I said, well, what about the nervous system? We recognize that the brain is the ultimate computer. And I go, well, that's like an analogy. A brain is like a computer. And I go, no, when you understand the nature of the cells, the cell is a programmable chip. And the nucleus has genes. Those are programs. But it's programmable by whoever is typing on the keyboard, which is outside the surface of the cell, which is the environment. So the environment is interacting with our cells to adjust our genetics. But between the environment and our cells in humans, there's a brain. So here's environment, here's cells. Brain looks at the environment and then tells the cells what's going on. The only problem with that is a misperception. What if you look at the environment and you got glasses on that block some of the stuff or change some of the appearance, and you're not really seeing the real life. You're seeing what the filter is of life. But then you're telling your cells, real life is what I saw. And I go, no, that was your belief system that got in the way, belief filters. And I go, and where do we get these? So now back up. Brain is computer, absolutely. Like a computer, not like, it is a computer. And it has the same functions as a normal computer you buy at Circuit City or someplace. I go, what's relevant? I say, buy a brand new computer, take it home, you push start. It boots up, the screen's on. And I go, okay, now do something, write an essay, make a drawing, do a spreadsheet, surf the web. And you go, can't do it. I say, you got a brand new computer. What do you mean you can't do it? The first thing is what? You must program the computer and then you can use the program. So it turns out in our human brain computer, from the age just, sometime after the first year when the brain is really kicking in really full speed, actually started in utero last trimester, because it boots up. The brain is booting up in a fetus before it's born last trimester. But to get the programs, where does it get programs from? And the answer is it downloads it from observing the environment. So the brain has a function for the first 7 years. It's not thinking. First 7 years, it's downloading. I say, what? It watches the mother, the father, the siblings, the community, and it's like a video recorder. What it sees, download it. How does the father behave? Well, watch your father and see that. Oh, that's how fathers behave. How does mother behave? Well, watch her program. Oh, that's how mothers behave. So you're getting programmed of being a father or a partner, a wife, and you get these programs and you have to live in a world of a community. And I go, why is it relevant? You can't do that with genes. So nature created a programmable period, 7 years in your life, where you get to observe the culture and how it works. And just by simply observing it, downloading it, you got a function of how to be a member of a family and a community. I go, great. So by age 7, I've downloaded how to be a member of a family and a community. And by age 7, I'm given a next higher brain function, which is consciousness, which allows me now to put data into my machine. So we bought the machine, it booted up in the last trimester of pregnancy. It downloads programs from the last trimester of pregnancy through age 7 by simply observing and downloading. And after age 7, we become conscious and now can use the show. So I said, so what's the issue? I go, well, you're downloading behavior from other people. I go, so what? I say, do they answer your wishes and desires and what you want in your life? Are they expressions of everything you want to be? I go, not necessarily. I go, well, sorry, you got the program. You're going to be that if you play the program. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I won't play the program. After I'm 7, of course, I could type on the keys and add my own story. And I go, yes, that's called the conscious mind. That's the one that types. And I go, so why is it relevant? Well, the conscious mind has the wishes and desires. So if you're going to type on your computer, you're going to say, oh, I want to be healthy and happy. I want to have romance. I want a great job. I go, oh, I'm typing a script here for my life with my conscious mind. And then I'm going to give you the serious news. Only 5% of the day is your life controlled by conscious wishes and desires. 95% of the day, your life is a direct readout of the programs that you got from other people. And I go, well, this is problematic. I go, why? Well, up to 70% of the downloaded programs we got are disempowering or self-sabotaging. So I say, Jesus, I don't want to run from that program. Why am I running 95% of my life from the program? Now it turns to a simple understanding. The conscious mind has 2 functions. It can look out, like looking out the windshield and looking where we're going, and be conscious and aware of what's going on in the world. But it also can think. I go, so what? I say, thinking is not looking out. Thinking is looking in. A thought is on the inside. If I said to you, hey, tell me what you're doing on Sunday at 3 o'clock, and it's not written in front of you, I bet you in a couple of moments you'll, oh yeah, on Sunday I'm doing it. I said, where'd you get that information? Oh, I thought about it. I go, the moment you start thinking, the conscious redirects its attention. It's not looking at the outside world, it's looking at the inside. I go, why is that relevant? Well, you're still dealing with the outside world. You're driving down the street and you're thinking, guess what? Conscious mind lets go. It's not looking out the window. You go, oh my God, who's driving this vehicle? I go, subconscious is autopilot. This is the critical part. I go, why? If the conscious mind's busy, the subconscious grabs the wheel and drives the vehicle, your body. I go, where's it going to take me? I go, wherever that program the subconscious got is going to take you. You're going to get the same program that your parents had, and you're going to express them. And all of a sudden I go, so wait a minute, it's not my life. No. Only 5% of the day are you manifesting wishes and desires, conscious mind. But 95% of the day, this is thinking. And as a result, your life's not coming from here. It's coming from down here, subconscious. And the issue about that is subconscious means that the behaviors that are playing from the programs that you got from other people are below your level of awareness, subconscious. They're playing and you're not seeing them. I go, why not? Well, why are you playing subconscious program? Because my conscious mind let go of looking out the window? I go, yeah. So when the subconscious is playing and creating the behavior that's going out the window, you're the one that doesn't even see it. You are being programmed. You have been programmed. It's hard if I could tell a story. It's only about 40 years old because it's the same damn story I've said for 40 years in my lectures. You probably heard a half a dozen times from me, but in case somebody didn't, let me tell you a very interesting story that brings the point home, and that is this. You have a friend. You know your friend's behavior very, very well, but you also know your friend's parent. And one day you see that your friend has the exact same behavior as their parent. So, you got to tell your friend, you go, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. Back away from Bill. Because I know the first thing Bill's going to say is, how can you compare me to my dad? I'm nothing like my dad. And the audience laughs because everybody's had that experience. I go, because this is a profound truth. And the truth is what? Everyone else can see that Bill behaves like his dad. Explanation? He downloaded his dad's behavior in the first 7 years. But then why can't he see it? And the answer is, where's his conscious mind when these programs are being played? It's inside. So whatever program is coming out 95% of the day out of your own life, you're not aware of it. It's an automatic. I go, why is that relevant? Well, if the program is good, then automatically you'll get to what you want. But if the program is not good, then life is a struggle. And that's all of a sudden say, why is life a struggle? Because we always look outside. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be in love. I wanted a great job. Look what I got. And then that individual, like Bill, not seeing they're playing that behavior, immediately says, oh, I am a victim of outside forces that are preventing me from getting to my wish and destination I desire. And I go, not true. Just like Bill, 95% of the day, you are creating your life with programs that you didn't put in there. And the issue is you see the results of the program, but you do not even see that you were participating in manifesting that program. And therefore, we're left with a potential, I am a victim of a world out of control. And I go, no, you are creating a world out of control, but you do not see it because your subconscious is playing that program 95% of the day. And that becomes difficult for a simple reason. It's like, well, what are my programs? What are my programs? They're controlling my life. I go, 95% of your life is the program. Your life is a printout of your programs. Yeah, you weren't there at 0 when programs were being installed. You really weren't conscious. You weren't there at 1 when programs were being installed. You weren't even there at 2 when programs were being installed. I go, so what are your programs? 95% of your life comes from the program. Your life is a printout of the program. So here's a simple answer to the question. What are my programs? Well, the things you like that come into your life, well, they come in because you have a program to acknowledge those things. But the things that you want, wish for, desire, but you find you have to work really hard and struggle and put effort into it. I'm going to make this happen. I'm working on it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get it. Why are you working so hard? And the answer is cool. Because whatever that destination is, your program doesn't support it. And that's why you're struggling. You're fighting your own subconscious program. So look at your life. What's not working? Relationship, health, job. Don't look outside for the problem. We are creators. We are co-creators, and we're creating our lives. And they go, oh, that's so new agey. I don't know. Okay, forget the new agey part. You know why? The most valid science on this planet is quantum physics. There is no science that has been tested more or affirmed to be truer than quantum physics. I go, yep, it's the most valid science. I said, why? Is it important? Principle number one, listen. Consciousness is creating our life experiences. That's the principle of the most valid science on the planet. I said, what does that mean? The answer is, your life is not an accident. You are a creator. We are co-creating together. But you're not creating from who you are. You're creating from the program you got. And programs are passed from parent to child, just like genes. And this is why for the longest time we thought illnesses that run in a family must be genetic, like cancer. No, cancer is not caused by a gene. Cancer is the result of disharmony in your life, not being in harmony with the world around you. And I go, I'll give you a fact that's real interesting. They followed the fate of children that were adopted into families where there was cancer in the family. And what they found was the adopted child will get the same family cancer with the same probability as any of the natural siblings, but the adopted child came from totally different genetics. So what was the point? Cancer wasn't driven by the genes, it was driven by a disharmonious lifestyle. Then anybody that got programmed with that could get the same cancer because it was the program, not the gene that did that. So we're all out here now and you're looking at your lives and you have to recognize, what is it you seek? And if you're having trouble getting what you seek, it's not because you don't deserve it or you can't get it or the universe is against you. No. Inevitably, it's your own programming that has disempowered you when you were young, because that's the life that we're coming from. Listen, it's not a new idea. The Jesuits have known this for 400 years. And they even told their followers exactly that same story. What did they say? They said, give me a child until it is 7 and I will show you the man. What does that mean? Exactly what they knew. First 7 years is programming. And then 95% of your life after that comes from that program. So if I can put the program in you, then I can determine the character of the rest of your life by the program I put in. Ah, my God, they found the nature of programming. And I go, well, you think that got lost? It's 400 years ago. I go, you kidding me? They're programming kids better today than even the Jesuits could ever imagine. If you see an infant walking around with an iPad, you're looking at a program in process right there. Okay. So the idea is, yeah, we are continuously being programmed by people that know that we are programmable. And that when we run the program, we don't see that we're the creators of it. We just feel we're the victims of it. And it's like, no, we are creators. And the only way out is to become responsible enough to know, if I am creating this, what do I need to do to change this picture? Because then you have an opportunity to rewrite your life experiences and change them to what is it you desire and wish for, rather than the program you got from others. Sarah, I think I'm going to leave some words for you in this story right now.
Well, I'm just, I'm struck with this notion of how do I change my program, right? With my
Ah,
computer on my screen, I can delete an app. I'm
yeah.
done with that app. I don't need it anymore.
How long
Delete,
does it take to do that?
right? About
How long does it take to
just
delete
not
something?
a few clicks, click, 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 and boom, it's
We're
gone.
going to come back to that.
How
Okay.
do I do that, right? And I'm also thinking about this notion of the co-creation, right? I really believe this, that we are each co-creating this world. We are each,
Absolutely.
with every breath, with every thought, with every action, whether conscious or subconscious, aware, unaware, we are weaving the collective future of all humanity and all life on this planet. And so that's a pretty big responsibility, right? If I'm a co-creator with you, with everybody, you know, the people on the Zoom now, the people watching live on Facebook, the people who are watching it in their present time, our future time, right? We're all creating this story together. So how do we take responsibility for it? How do we stop living in that only 5% time you're talking about, but shift it, right? So that 95% of the time we are consciously, you know,
What would happen if that, what do you think would happen if we did 95% of the time being conscious?
what do I
I'll
think?
give you an answer. You
Yeah,
ready?
I'd love to hear that.
We'll step backwards. I'll say that the movie The Matrix, which most people have seen,
Mhm.
is not science fiction, it's a documentary. Why?
Red blue pill, which one?
Well, no, first the documentary was everybody was programmed in the movie. Every citizen is programmed. I go, we already know that.
Right,
The first 7 years is programming. And then you buy beliefs from the teacher, many of which disempower you. Okay. Like, oh no, I don't do healing. The doctor does healing. I go, why is that relevant? Well, then you will hold back any effort to heal yourself until you got some message from the doctor, which then becomes your truth because you gave up the power. The doctor knows, I don't know. Okay, so this is how disempowering comes down the line. Okay, so the big issue is this: we have been disempowered. And but you brought up in the movie The Matrix, there was an interesting part that was where you had a choice to take a blue pill or a red pill. And the storyline goes, if you take the blue pill and you wake up, you're back in the same program and life is exactly the way it's always been. But if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. And I go, so what does that mean? And then I go, I'll tell you what it means, because almost everybody out there in our community right now has taken the red pill with the most amazing consequences and not even realizing what happened. And I go, what was that? When you fall in love, it could be with a person, of course, it could be with a pet, could be with gardening, it could be with being a chef. You can love things like that. Okay. I said, when you're in love, uh, everything changes right away when you first fall in love. So we'll just do the people one. It's easy for me to talk about. Your life is blah, 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 blah every day, playing the program, blah, 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 blah. And on this day, you meet someone special, the day you met that love you were looking for. I go, so what? I say, 24 hours later, this is not blah, blah, blah. 24 hours later, oh, life is so beautiful. I'm so in love. Oh, the food is great. The music is great. Even the crappy job's not so crappy. I'm so in love. My life is like heaven on earth. And I go, you went from blah, blah, blah to heaven on earth in 24 hours? How'd you do that? And the answer is science has recognized that falling in love is the equivalent of taking the red pill. Because when you fall in love, you stop thinking and you stay present. It's called being mindful. I go, what does that mean? If you're not thinking, then the conscious creative wishes and desires mind's holding onto the wheel and still driving. Now it's no program. The programs aren't coming. Now, guess what? As you just said, sorry, what if I'm doing 95% from my wishes and desires? I go, what do you think will happen? Heaven on earth. It's called the honeymoon. The honeymoon is that, whoa. I go, how long does it last? I go, well, that's another issue. Sometimes it might be a week, if maybe, and sometimes it might be a month, or if you're lucky, a year. But at some point it fades away and goes back into the program again. I say, so what was it that created the honeymoon? The answer is science has recognized you stopped thinking and stayed present in your mind, and therefore not defaulting to the damaging, programs that we got. And you were creating from wishes and desires, and you manifested heaven on earth. I go, why is that relevant? I go, heaven on earth is always here. It's only when you play your program you don't see it anymore because it was taken away from you. But when you stop playing the program, there's an opportunity to be it. So what's the issue? I said, well, if I want heaven and earth, do I have to go change the planet? And I go, no, first I got to go and change the program. It's the program that kept me from doing it, not my ability as a human, not my ability as a spiritual entity. Those abilities are the creative end. But to be creative, I have to stop thinking, because the moment I'm thinking, I'm just turning over the control to the autopilot subconscious. And now it's not my life now. And I observe it like, what's going on here? Not seeing that I'm the guy that's causing the problem, because when my behaviors that were compromising were coming out because I was thinking I didn't see him, like Bill. My behavior was sabotaging me, and all I saw was that my life wasn't working. Therefore, I blamed it on them without recognizing I was creating this all day long. Until the moment you stop creating, creating it by, stop thinking. And all of a sudden, the world changed virtually within 24 hours. It went from hell to heaven in 24 hours. And I go, that was there for us, not for just 24 hours. That's there for us every day for as long as we live on this planet. As long as you say, then how come I'm not experiencing it every day? And the answer goes back to the program doesn't offer that to you. And only when you suspend program playing is that option open in a creative conscious mind.
So this makes me think of something that many of my students have heard me share about many times, but it explains it. It gives me even more belief in this. So dear Nikki Scully, right?
Yes,
And
he's a sweetheart.
oh, and for years and years and years and years in classes, in alchemical healing classes, she would talk about the coin of the realm, right? So when we're doing this inner work, we're in the realm, right? And she would say the coin of the realm is to pay attention, pay attention. And I was like, oh yeah, not just in the inner world, like when I'm in a journey state or in a trance state or whatever, but also in my outer world. If I pay attention, right? I'm paying attention to you, paying attention to my children, paying attention to my pets. And then years later, I'm on a call with another dear teacher and colleague of mine named Jyoti. And Jyoti says, the key of the realm. And I'm like, the key? The key of the realm? I know what the coin is. The coin is to pay attention. I'm paying attention. She said, the key of the realm is just show up. And I was floored in that moment because I recognized that Jyoti and Nikki, the two, they both had two halves to a whole, to show up and pay attention. And when we show up and when we pay attention, we're in that present tense state that you're talking about, where we're in control. We're aware of the car, we're aware of the wheel, we're aware of where we're going, we're aware of what's around us, and we're not caught in these loops of programming of what was or what might be, but we're right here and right now. And when we're showing up and paying attention, everything is here that we need. So everything that you're talking about speaks to me about that it's the present tense place that we change. We rewrite our programming, that we delete those apps that don't work anymore. So yeah.
We can do that. We can do that. But for many people, it's not an easy process to do that. Not because it is easy, as I brought up before. You're talking about how fast you can delete a program on your, computer laptop, and you said a few clicks and it's gone. This might surprise people, but you can do something very similar to that. Change a program in minutes and walk away. Different person. Walk away from this to that in about 10 or 15 minutes by rewriting a program that has been a program of limitation. And this is doable. But it's very hard because the first thing people have already started with, oh, change is hard. I go, well, if belief is controlling stuff and you start off with change is hard, then I say, well, now you've already just compromised it because now you already, before I can do the change, I have to do hard because it's not going to happen unless I do. Change is hard. I go, so that's a bigger problem. I say the problem comes down to a very important fact is that there are two minds that make up the mind. That's where everybody goes, the mind, like I got one mind here. And I go, no, you got two interdependent minds that work together and always call it the mind, but it's two things. I say, what are they? I say, one is called conscious mind, one is called subconscious mind. I go, what about them? I say, they have different functions, number one. And more importantly, they have different ways of learning. And that's where the monkey wrench comes in, because we learned with our conscious mind, which is creative. I say, how can you learn with the conscious mind? I say, any damn thing. Watch a video, read a book, watch this show with you and me, go, aha, I could change the conscious mind. It's creative. That's its function. A subconscious mind is a habit mind. I go, so what? I say, if habits could just change like boop, 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 then they're not called habits. Habits resist change. So when you get a program in the habit mind, it's not like, hey, let's change these programs today. No. And thank God they don't change like that, because you learned how to walk before you were 2. You could be 102 and you're still walking. I said, when did you get that program? He said, when I was 2. I go, great. Why? Because it doesn't change. It's a habit. But there are habits that don't help us, and we want to change those. And so all of a sudden that says it's not just as easy as like, okay, I will change my behavior. I go, that's a conscious mind creatively wishing for something like that. And I go, that doesn't translate in learning in subconscious mind. Subconscious mind learns in a completely different way and retains that memory in a completely different way than a conscious mind, which is creative. I go, so how does it do it? And I said, well, if you understand how the programs were put in, then you're given the key to put new programs in and rewrite them.
How are the programs put in?
Oh, we don't have enough time to talk about that. Oh. Oh, okay. We'll give the summary here. Okay. This is the whole summary. I used to give this whole lecture. I was the biology guy. So the idea of how cells work and the membranes and the environmental signal going through the proteins, connecting to the genes. And I love all that. And I explained that. And that was my career. And I get to the end and I said, that's how it works. And, I mentioned the programming. And of course, the first question always was, well, how do you change the program? And I go, I'm the cell biology guy. What the hell do I know? So it was very frustrating to have this great wisdom of how it works and then, not be able to solve the first and most important question of everybody. How do I change it? So I now have some information to offer. I say, you change it the same way it learned in the first place. I say, what was that? I say, well, the first 7 years, your brain was in a lower vibration than consciousness. It was called theta. The energy waves that you read by putting electromagnetic wires on your head and electroencephalograph, read the brain function. It's all different levels of vibration. That's what you're reading, energy vibrations. There's a vibration step up. That higher vibration has different function. The lowest vibration, delta, is sleep. The next higher vibration is called theta, which is mixing the real world and the imaginary world, because then the next one up, alpha, is you're back in the real world, and that's calm consciousness. And then a much higher vibration when you go to work is called beta, which is focused consciousness. Well, a child for the first 7 years is in theta, doesn't even get to the consciousness level. I go, so theta is imagination. I go, yeah, children's tea party, pour nothing into the cup and then drink nothing and talk about the greatest tea we ever had. That's theta. And I go, and what else? Theta is hypnosis. So for 7 years, your brain is designed to be a video camcorder, record other people's behavior, download it into the hard drive, and that's where you got your subconscious programs, okay? So I say, then how did it get the first 7 years? I say, the brain was not at the level of consciousness. It was a little lower, called theta. I go, so that's hypnosis. I go, yeah. Do I need a hypnotherapist? I go, no. I go, why not? Because remember I told you that it starts low, delta, and you're waking up, you go to theta, you're not fully awake. Alpha, you're awake and conscious, and work is beta, high consciousness. But the reverse happens when you come home. You come home from work at beta, you relax at home, it becomes calm consciousness, alpha. And just when you nod off, when your eyes close and you're not here, consciousness is down, you're in theta for a period of time before it drops to the lowest one, delta, sleep. So every night, just after consciousness takes its, I'm done, the period of functioning of the brain is theta, which is record. So if you put earphones on at night with programs you want to be true in your life, while you're still awake and alpha and getting drowsy, you can hear what the words are. But the moment you go to sleep, consciousness doesn't hear what's coming in the tape. You're asleep. The theta in subconscious is still operating. So whatever's coming in the ears is not going up into consciousness. It's going down into subconscious. So when you put the earphones on, you won't hear the program, but your subconscious will. And by repetition of doing that every night for a number of nights, one day you wake up and whatever the program you wanted, you don't even have to put the earphones on anymore, because repetition leads to a download. That's how you got the programs anyway. You recorded things that repeated and you go, oh yeah, that. And then I say, so A, want to change the program? self-hypnosis, earphones on at night, playing a program that you want to be true in your life, relationship, health, job, whatever. They're all self-help programs out there. So that's number one. But I say, yeah, well, hypnosis only worked up until age 7. Then you still learn. You learn how to drive a car, play a music instrument. You learned a complex job. I go, how'd you learn those? And they become automatic behavior. Once you learn how to drive a car, you don't have to think about it. You can have conversations and talk about daydreams and drive the car, and you're good. I go, how did I learn how to drive a car? Because it became subconscious. And the answer was repetition of a behavioral program, the one you want to be true. You repeat it as if it's true right now. I love it. The New Age one always makes me laugh about it. The New Age approach is called fake it till you make it. And basically what that means is this: I'm not a happy person, but guess what I can do all day? All day long, every moment that I can recall, every moment, I say to myself, in the midst of that, you say, I am happy. I am happy. You're not. I don't care. That's not the point. You can just say all day long, I am happy. I am happy. And I go, why is it relevant? Subconscious learns by repetition. And if you repeat it frequently enough, there's a day where you wake up and you don't have to say, I am happy. You woke up happy. Why? Because through repetition, once the program is in, 95% of your life is going to come from that program. So those are the two natural ways that we learn. Infants up to age 7, we were in a state of hypnosis. After age 7, we learned by repetition of a behavior we wanted to be a habit, and just repeated it, just that behavior. And I say, and then there's a third way, and this one to me is like the really most important, because civilization has found itself in a very precarious place, causing the 6th mass extinction, human behavior. So guess what? You want to get out of here? We have to change human behavior. I can go, okay, you can do the earphones, you can do the repetition. I say, but there's a much faster way. Necessity, being the mother of invention, has led to a whole new form of psychology called energy psychology. What's that? It's not the psychology, cognitive therapy. You go back and you say, yeah, my mom did this, my best friend did this, my partner did that. And you review your history of all the stupid things that went wrong. And you replay those history. I say, that's why the box of tissue is there. Because when you replay all those histories, you're going to relive every one of those experiences. And I go, what the hell do I want to relive them for? They weren't even good the first time. So I say, no. Because all those are based on a messenger giving you a message. Your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your father, whatever, gave you these messages, right? And the idea is, I got the message. They're not here anymore. Going back and blaming them is killing the messenger over the message. That doesn't change the message. You want to change the message? I don't have to go backwards. What's the message? I'm not happy. I have no relationship skills. My job sucks. I want a better one. Oh, that's the message. You want to change that. You don't have to find out who told you 50 years ago that you sucked at something, and you downloaded that. I go, you don't have to go there. The beautiful part about energy psychology is you don't have to go one step back from where you are at this minute, because the life you're living is here right now. The program that you're playing is here right now. So the beautiful part is, well, what is it that you're struggling with? I go, I struggle with finding a relationship. I go, oh, well, then let's put in relationship program that we would like. And then I say, how do you do that? I say, well, you could do the earphone. You could do the repetition during the day, or energy psychology that gets you to a super learning. So just to give you an idea, what is super learning? It's like, maybe you've seen somebody read a book by just taking their finger and wiping it down the page. Just like all the words on that page were read, just like that. I don't care how many words on the page. By this motion, I have read every word on that page. That's super learning experience, okay? If you could apply that super learning type of behavior to putting in a program, now here comes the beautiful fact. You can change those programs in 15 minutes and walk away a different person. But you have to know how to push the damn record button. Right. Because if you don't, it's talk to your video player or DVD player or something, and it's playing a show and you don't want it. And I say, go ahead and talk to it. Hey, DVD player, play something different. I don't like that show. I go, how much talking to that DVD player will it take? I go, there's nobody in there. You can talk till you're blue in the face. There's nobody in there. And I go, absolutely true about the subconscious mind. It's a recorded database. And when you say, I'm going to give myself a good talking to, well, who are you talking to? Well, I'm going to talk to the subconscious. Change those stupid programs. I go, hey, there's nobody in there. All that talking you're doing is going to frustrate the hell out of you, because all that talking is not going to lead to any change whatsoever. It's a recording mechanism. It's got a recorded program. You have to push the record button. And when energy psychology is used, it creates a state of whole brain, they call it, whole brain function, which then allows a window of opportunity just to put in a new program. Boom, right there. And you walk away different. Is it true? Is it, hey, this sounds pretty new agey stuff. I like that stuff. I go, no, this is a fundamental understanding of a recording mechanism and a program device. And basically, I live in heaven, man. Zara asked me, okay, let's be on the program. I go, absolutely. Why? Because for up to 40 plus years, I did not live in heaven. I lived in a competitive, push to survive, thrive, push, and not good at relationships. Why? Because if you had my parents as teachers of a relationship, you wouldn't have a relationship either. And all of a sudden it's like, how could I get a relationship when my 95% program is coming from observing their behavior, which didn't work? And the answer is no, can't have that. And then what do you do? I say, well, how about change? And let me give you the most important one, sir. I think the most important change. And I say this from experience and based on, I've been involved with a lot of reprogramming technologies, okay? How to reprogram a belief and all that. And in that process, we start off by assessing beliefs. I go, so the first question we ask, and this is why I'm bringing it up, the first question we ask it for people to make a statement to see if their subconscious agrees with the statement. Conscious mind creates any statement. It's creative. Conscious mind, I got 5 heads. Subconscious mind goes, nah, that's not true. I go, so what's the point? Subconscious controls muscles. That's where it's way more advanced than the processing of the conscious mind. Subconscious is a computer with 1,000,000 times more power than the conscious creative mind. So when it comes to muscle movements, which require computation beyond anything you can believe, it doesn't come from conscious, it comes from subconscious. So I say, so what? I make a statement with my creative mind, conscious mind. Okay, I can make any statement. I say, I got 3 heads. Okay. And then I say, then what? The subconscious hears what I say, but here comes the problem. If in the database of the subconscious there's no support for that statement, then the conscious mind statement and the subconscious mind programs are not in harmony. Right. And when the subconscious is in disharmony, because it controls muscles, when it's in disharmony, it also weakens the control of muscle. So like putting your arm out and doing a muscle test like that is basically, if I make a statement in the conscious mind, my subconscious mind agrees, they're both in harmony, this is rock solid, man, you're not going to move it. But if I make a statement in my conscious mind, my subconscious mind can't support that statement, then the weakening of the muscle caused my arm to drop. That's muscle testing, okay? So I say, so here's the first question that we ask in these to test the belief system of the people in the community. The first one is this: I love myself. Over 80%, and I'd venture to say 90% of every audience will not test positive for I love myself. I go, so why is that relevant? If you don't love yourself, you can never have love from anybody else. They say, hey, Bruce, I love you. And I go, well, you got some bad quality control. I know I'm not lovable. What's wrong with you? And basically push people away. And then, of course, I'll be right, because at the end of the day, nobody will be there. And see, I told you I wasn't lovable. Yeah, I push people away all day and they're not there. So I go, so why is this relevant? Why do we have a problem with that? And the answer is, remember I told you the first 7 years is programming? I go, yes. And I also said we get our teachers, our parents primarily. I go, yeah, like that. And I go, so what about this? And I say, well, parents do not know that the first 7 years you're not conscious, you're just recording, okay? Because consciousness begins after age 7, where you can consciously assess what's being said. So before age 7, you just record whatever just got said. Record. There's no thinking. Record. I go, why is it relevant? Let's say a coach of a sports team, a player isn't doing well. The coach doesn't go up to the kid and go, hey, come on, do better. That would be so nice. I say, no, the coach gets up there and say, that's not good enough. You don't deserve to be on this team. Who do you think you are? You're not worthwhile. And I say, why does the coach say all those scary things like that? Because the player, being old enough, being conscious, recognize he's just saying that because I'm not doing the best performance and therefore I will do better. I go, yeah, now take that coach and have them talk to a kid under 7 years of age. That's not good enough. Who do you think you are? You don't deserve this. I go, a kid under 7 is not consciously interpreting what the parent said. A kid under 7 is recording those words as a program. I go, so why is it relevant? Because most of us grew up with coachy parents. I go, so why is that relevant? Because they criticized us to try to get us to do better without recognizing at the age they were criticizing us, we didn't understand what the hell they were saying. We were just recording it. And that's why most people do not love themselves, because the critical assessments they receive from parents who were trying to be helpful actually, just stymied their future. Just to say to the kid, you don't deserve this, a few times, and now I got a program. I go, so what? Well, 95% of my life comes from a program. I go, so what? I go, the function of the brain is to make that program manifest. So if I get a program, I'm not lovable, then the behavior that will come from that program, from that brain, will do everything to thwart any relationship possible. So at the end of the day, I can say, right, told you I wasn't lovable. Look, there's nobody here. I go, well, after all day of pushing them away, of course nobody's there. But like Bill, you never saw that behavior 95% of the day, which was compromising your wishes, your desires, your destination. And I say, so why is it relevant? Well, we already went over the main points. Where's your program failing you? Wherever it is you're trying to get and you can't get there and you're struggling, that's your program failing you. Now what? Change the program. How? Well, you can do self-hypnosis with earphones, or you could do repetition of a behavior you want to be true, or you can do energy psychology. Just very quickly, so Zara doesn't have to work hard at this, my website, brucelipton.com, has about 25 or more individual energy psychology modalities, a little descriptor of each, and a website. I suggest you go there and find one of those that feel, oh, I'd like to try this one. Because now you know what you want to change. Now there's a way to make those changes. And with energy psychology, you can virtually have instantaneous change, which is what I want. I hate waiting. I want it now. So energy psychology changed my entire life. And from a life that was struggle with no relationship and all that, I've been on a honeymoon for 25 years. Every day I wake up and it's like, hey, look where I am. I'm living in heaven. Oh my God. It doesn't mean everything works. Nope. But you know what? I learned something. My intention was to make it work by going this path, and it doesn't work. And the reason, bottom line, was if I would let go, the universe said this was a faster path to get to the same place. But I was busy telling the universe, this is the way I want it, and I'm pushing on it. And it's like, nah, don't struggle. The universe will help you get there. Stop telling the universe how to do it. Just be open. You send out the intention, and that intention is a broadcast to the field, quantum physics, that will align the reality of your experience to that intention. So the bottom line from a guy who was never spiritual is, oh my God, we're fully spiritual entities because who we are is not in here. It's an energy field playing with us picking up that station. And the big important part is, well, you can't die because you were not in here. You were always the broadcast. And this is what I refer to as the TV playing the Bruce show now. And I say, if the TV breaks, Bruce show is over. And I go, well, not until you get another TV and tune it to the same station, another body with the same set of protein antennas of self receptors. I'll be back in a different body. I am not the body. I am the broadcast. Does it make a difference as male or female? No, that's just a television set. Geez, this time I'm male, next time it could be female. It doesn't, that's the TV. It's not me.
Right.
Make a difference of black, white, brown, yellow, red. No, that's the TV. We are not the TVs. We are the broadcasts. When we start to recognize this, we'll recognize that the TVs are not having the problem around here. It's the broadcast that we have to help organize a bit and stop, stop this self-destruction on this planet, because we need to come together now, as we talked about, because the evolution is on us right now. And extinction is not 1,000 years, it's in decades. And the only way out is humans have to change their behavior. Humans have to know who they are. We're not victims, we're creators.
Right.
The only problem is I'm creating from programs that necessarily don't give me what I want. So it's like, oh, let's change the program. I go, do it.
Yeah.
Because you can manifest heaven on earth every day of your life.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. Let's
Yeah,
manifest heaven
it's
on earth.
exciting.
Heaven is earth. Earth is heaven. There is no separation. So I encourage you all to check out Bruce's website and to look more into the energy medicine and the various modalities that are out there. And just a little plug around that, alchemical healing, which is something that Nikki Scully brought through, is a beautiful way of accessing that theta space and reprogramming beliefs, reprogramming issues that you feel you have in your body. You can come into a session of alchemical healing with all kinds of pain and go out the other side of that session with no pain, right?
100% true.
And any of that. It's amazing. It's amazing
It
to see
is.
it
It
happen.
is.
It's
It's
amazing. I've seen miracles again and again in my work with alchemical healing, and there are many other modalities out there just like that. So, Bruce, it's been such a pleasure. I am so honored to know you on this planet and to be co creating with you, and for you to take this time to be with us today. So, thank
Well,
you.
I want to thank you, darling, because this gives me a platform to talk to the most important people, the people who are looking for answers. And I hope we provided in our talk. I was going to say our conversation. I realized, boy, I one-sided that conversation. I'm sorry. But in the material that came out, there are some pieces of wisdom in there that can profoundly change your life experience. What if you woke up every day and it's just like, oh my God, I'm still here and it's heaven on earth. I got another day on heaven. That when you wake up that way, boy, is that the most wonderful experience of being alive right there.
So let's do it, everybody. Let's wake up with awe and wonderment and excitement for this breath, this life. And you can find Bruce at brucelipton.com. And I will be back around with you again next month for the next session of Wisdom Talks. And until then, be well, reprogram, reprogram, reprogram. Live your best life. Thank you, Bruce.
Thank you all. Thank you so very much.